This is Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motoring news and features TV and online magazine. I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for. On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the significance of modern and traditional jeepneys. A road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on following a traffic enforcer signal in an intersection. This week's Buying Choper shall be about the importance of following the rule on the yellow box. Showcase this week shall have the all-new Kicks e-Power. While for race weekend, we shall have the highlights of the Philippine Autocross Championship Series Track All You Want at the Accelerate Calabarzon Motor Show.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
Mitsubishi Strada Athlete, confident to the core.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. Traffic authorities are again experimenting with another solution to make it safer for both motorcycle riders and other motorists on a major thoroughfare with an exclusive lane for motorcycle riders on Commonwealth Avenue.
The Metro Manila Development Authority has been conducting a dry run before fully implementing an exclusive lane for motorcycles Commonwealth Avenue. According to the MMDA, during the pilot run of the scheme meant to prevent more motorcycle accidents on a major thoroughfare, motorists are getting aware of the exclusive motorcycle lane on Commonwealth Avenue and are beginning to observe the new rules. During the dry run, motorists are flagged for driving on the exclusive motorcycle lane but are merely warned and not ticketed or fined. The exclusive motorcycle lanes are delineated by solid lines, and merging into or out of the lanes can only be done at designated segments marked by broken lines. But each day of the pilot run, fewer motorists were being flagged, prompting the MMDA to say motorists are getting used to the new scheme and observing it. In a press statement, MMDA Acting Chairman Ronaldo Artes said the agency was hopeful the number of violators would decline more as it continues to guide motorists for another week of test runs on Commonwealth. Artes said that if the dry run is successful in making motorcycle riders and other motorists share Commonwealth better and safer, exclusive motorcycle lanes will be implemented in other major thoroughfares in Metro Manila.
Any new scheme for improving traffic flow and making roads safer will only work if motorists and motorcycle riders, as well as pedestrians, are disciplined enough to observe traffic rules and regulations. Meanwhile, traditional jeepneys may still remain on the roads, but only in design and look.
The Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program is not totally about eradicating traditional jeepneys. According to the Department of Transportation, it's about setting new standards for public utility vehicles to make them safer, more accessible, comfortable, and convenient. The Philippine National Standards for Modern Public Utility Vehicles cover dimensional limits, engine requirements, safety features, but not design. These standards for modern PUVs also seek to ensure they comply with emission standards. The PUV-MP also called for modern jeepneys to have GPS, an automated fare collection system, and a CCTV camera. The Land Transportation Franchising Regulatory Board has clarified that PUVs with traditional iconic design of jeepneys could qualify under the PUV-MP, as long as they comply with the parameters or requirements of the Philippine National Standards issued by the Department of Trade and Industry.
Old traditional jeepneys will have to go one way or another. but many are hoping for the iconic look of the traditional jeepney to remain part of our mass transport system. Continuing, the light rail transits have made it a tradition to suspend operations during Holy Week. The tradition continues this year.
The Metro Rail Transit Line 3 and the Light Rail Transit Line 2 have been announced separately that they will be suspending operations during the Holy Week. Both cited the same reasons for stopping passenger operations from Maundy Thursday to Easter Sunday. Both will be conducting annual maintenance activities on trains, station facilities, and equipment to ensure their safety and reliability. The Light Rail Transit Authority also announced that the LRT2 will have shortened operation hours, with both routes bound from Recto and Antipolo closing at 7 p.m. on Holy Wednesday. Normal operations will resume on April 10.
Commuters have gotten used to the MRT and other light rail transit systems closing for the Holy Week. Anyway, it's that time of the year when most of the people in Metro Manila head home to their provinces. And finally, it was a long wait for vintage vehicle owners who lobbied hard for the passage of Republic Act No. 11698, or the Vintage Vehicle Act of 2022. But it will finally be implemented this coming April.
Vintage vehicle owners, including members of the Manila Sports Car Club, celebrated the signing of the implementing rules and regulations for Republic Act No. 11698 with a visit to the Presidential Car Museum at the Quezon City Memorial Circle. The museum hosts 12 presidential vehicles which have been restored through the efforts of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. Among those who visited the Presidential Car Museum was Northern Samar 1st District Representative Paul Ardaza, who helped get the law enacted.
Meron po tayong bagong batas na of which I was the principal author, na dito po sa Pilipinas ngayon, kahit ano pong kotse o motorsiklo, basta 40 years and older, defined na po as vintage car. At pwede pong i-register sa LTO.
Under RA 11698, vintage vehicles are not required to meet the anti-pollution, safety and road use, and other standards that were not enforced at the time of their manufacture, either for LTO registration or for use on local roads. This means vintage cars are exempt from laws such as Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, the Seatbelt Use Act of the same year, the Republic Act No. 8506, which prohibits the importation, registration, and use of right-hand drive vehicles. The law also allows the importation, exportation, and registration of vintage vehicles. Representative Daza expects RA 11698 to help develop the local vintage car restoration industry, saying lessening the burden to import vintage vehicles and parts will help expose the craftsmanship of the Filipino to the world.
What vintage car will be the first to get registered under the new law, and who owns it? That's a question of great interest to vintage vehicle enthusiasts. And those are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. Going by just pronouncements from the government and the transport groups, it's an us-against-them situation with regards to modern and traditional jeepneys. But is it really like this? Or does it have to be like this? Motoring Forum discusses these questions.
The recent strike staged by transport associations representing jeepney drivers and operators showed that there remains a perception of government wanting to eradicate traditional jeepneys. No matter how the Department of Transportation couches its public utility vehicle modernization program, the perception remains. This isn't helped at all by what the DOTR calls modern jeepneys looking more like minibuses, given priority in new or even existing routes and incentives to be acquired by co-ops and incorporated transport operators. It also doesn't help that transport operators and jeepneys, no matter their protestation of support for modernization and safety, continue to harp on the PUVMP, being anti-poor and serve only manufacturers and distributors of the misnomered modern jeepneys. In pushing the PUVMP, the DOTR, through the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board and in cooperation with the government financial institutions, encourage individual operators of jeepneys to band together and form co-ops to take advantage of incentives and funding to replace their old traditional units with modern jeepneys. However, industry observers see a trend of trades and new entrants to the jeepney transport sector forming co-ops and taking over routes formerly reserved for traditional jeepneys. There is also a burgeoning clash between the traditional way of jeepney operations, the boundary system, and drivers becoming, in essence, hired hands for co-ops. For decades, a boundary system was practiced by the jeepney sector. Drivers pay the so-called boundary or fee for use of the jeepney and keeping whatever he collects in fare after expenses for fuel. Under the PUVMP, the DOTR encourages drivers to become something like salaried employees for co-ops or transport companies with regular hours and the same benefits as daily workers. The recent transport strike, which only lasted 2 days instead of a week, as threatened, ended with no tangible gains for striking jeepney drivers and operators beyond government extending the deadline from June 30 to December 31, 2023 for them to either join co-ops or so-called existing judicial entities operating modern jeepney services. The DOTR maintains that the jeepney modernization program will continue with essentially the same provisions, but this time the LTFRB expressly approved modern jeepney prototypes to the iconic look of traditional jeepneys and complying with the PNS standards and DOTR requirements manufactured by longtime makers of traditional jeepneys. In an interview with CNN Philippines, LTFRB Technical Division Head Joel Bolano said, "Our iconic jeepney, we did not say that it's not allowed anymore, as long as our iconic jeep can comply with the parameters or requirements of the Philippine national standards issued by the DTI." In a press statement, DOTR also said the PNS also covers the dimensional limits, engine requirements, and safety features that modern public utility vehicles must have. There are no restrictions regarding design or look of the jeepney units, it added. Finally, Transportation Undersecretary Mark Steven Pastor of the 48 public utility jeepney manufacturers and distributors, only 13 are Filipino, and it will be up to the jeepney cooperative or corporation which one to tap for their modernization needs.
One thing that hasn't really been touched on is, what do commuters think about modern jeepneys as opposed to traditional jeepneys? What would they prefer? That would be a good topic for discussion among government and transport groups, and also future motoring forums. That's our motoring forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.
At the core of Toyota Gazoo racing lies motorsports DNA. Combine that with the Philippines' best-selling sedan, you get the Vios GRS. Its black accent details and aero kit upgrade capture the feel and excitement on the track, and the 10-speed CVT that exudes the TGR competitive spirit. On the road or on the track, always be ready for a heart-racing, exhilarating ride. The Vios GRS. Bring on the thrill.
Mitsubishi Strada Athlete, confident to the core.
You're back with us here on Motoring Today, and we now have this week's important motoring tips, starting off with some road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines. Traffic enforcers are usually found on busy intersections. Baging ikaw ay pedestrian or driver, always be respectful of them at maghintay ng signal na galing sa kanila. Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. Here's Spying Chuper this week.
Payong Chuper lang kaibigan, ako si Alan, isang kapwa nyo Chuper. Ito'y isang paalala na huwag huminto sa loob ng yellow box.
Ang mga yellow box na matatagpuan sa intersections ay dapat palaging bakante kahit pa naka-green ang traffic light. Kapag nakahinto ang kabilang bandang intersection, mas mabuting maghintay ng tamang pagkakataon bago lumampas sa yellow box.
Tandaan, sumunod sa yellow box rule upang maging maayos ang ating takbo sa kalsada. Ito po si Jose Alan Mendoza, payong Chuper lang kaibigan, mula sa isang kapwa nyo Chuper.
Mitsubishi Strada Athlete, confident to the core.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. World of Motorsports is next.
In other motorsports news, Ryan Ablang set the fastest time in the second day of the Maranao Autocross Battle of Champions held at Ground Zero in Marawi in ending up champion of the Pro C category. Now Sarawang was Pro C first runner-up with Don Monib Sid Datucon as second runner-up. Dampoy Jabo topped the Pro A category with Munday Sulaiman as first runner-up and Nani Dimakaling as second runner-up. Alawi Mapupuno ruled the Pro B category. Hanstin Abdullah and Wawi Surang was first and second runner-up respectively. Alawi Mapupuno was the Open Pro Championship with Hanstin Abdullah as first runner-up and Now Sarawang as second runner-up.
More on the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we now give you Race Weekend. In this race weekend, we pay tribute to Danny Santiago, champion racer who championed autocross through its Philippine Autocross Championship Series. PAX continues to celebrate the man's life by organizing the track All You Want as part of the Celebrate Colaboracion Motor Show held recently at the Ayala Mall Solinado Valley in Santa Rosa, Laguna.
Super fun. The autocross, no? It's a really good opportunity to have fun with your car and meet the community, people with similar interests. So, solid. The track is super tight actually kasi ang daming curb. So, nakakatakot bilisan kasi you might hit the gutter, baka mag-gutter mo yung mags mo. But after a few tries, masasanay ka rin. You'll get comfortable with the turns. Tapos we have very good instructors, so that's solid.
Medyo parang nakakalito yung track kasi parang pa-jump ng part ng parking lot. Pero kung nasa ulo naman, masaya yung track, mas technical kaysa sa recent mga events, yung sa mga Robinson.
This one, we invited some of the people who wanted to try their autocross for a minimal fee of 1,000 po per day. They could bring their cars and then try our autocross racetrack. The history of PAX, way back pa nung 2002, organizer po niyan, my late father, Danny Santiago. And then, yeah, he wanted to have a race na sabayan, yung two cars in a racetrack competing against each other, ganun po. And then, eventually, we also have, like right now, what we have here, yung mga practice runs for the people who are interested in joining the competition. First of all, yung challenges po namin is the venue po. We want to have a venue that is convenient to the racers and the spectators also. So yun, medyo naghahanap rin po kami ng mga venues near Metro Manila.
Danny Santiago kept the fires burning for autocross through the years. Here's hoping the Philippine Autocross Championship Series continues the man's legacy of keeping grassroots motorsports on the right track. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. We'll be back after this short break.
pang matagalan kasama mo sa pag-unlad ng negosyo. Modernong disenyo, kayang-kaya ang kargo mo ng tatak na ito. Isuzu Travis, level up with Isuzu. Level up mo yung negosyo. Isuzu Travis, level up with Isuzu. Level up with Isuzu Travis.
The Mitsubishi Strada Athlete, confident to the core.
Our Car of the Week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. Nissan is electrifying the local automotive scene with the launch of the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power, a subcompact SUV that is perfect in these times for expensive fuel and for the shift toward the electrified future of personal mobility.
There's a new entry in the crowded subcompact SUV segment, and it's electrifying. Electrifying not only for its looks, but especially because of its unique powertrain and thrilling performance. The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power is a subcompact SUV that is 100% powered by an electric motor, but one that doesn't need plugging in because it is charged by a gasoline engine. You will get an EV-like driving performance of smooth and powerful acceleration without range anxiety, and it's very fuel efficient. That in itself should pretty much get everyone excited about the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power. But it is also quite a looker, a head-turner in a segment already filled with attractive options. The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power comes across as a sporty and stylish subcompact SUV. Nissan rolled out the Kicks e-Power with 3 trim levels from the top-of-the-line VL, the mid-level VE, and the entry-level EL. All 3 variants look very modern and sporty with Nissan's signature double V motion on its front grille, the sharply angled full LED headlamps with daytime running lights, the full LED tail lamp with chrome light finisher, and keyless door entry with i-key switch and 17-inch alloy wheels. The top-of-the-line wheel also gets front LED fog lamps and two-tone body color with its black roof. The interior of the Kicks e-Power is where comfort and innovation meet. Black leather trims and abundance of soft touch materials. On the dash, the center console armrest that doubles as storage. The top grade has genuine leather with double stitching for the seats. The mid and the entry grades include a fabric upholstery with single stitching. Also wrapped in leather is the steering wheel of the VL and the VE. All 3 tilts and telescopes, and comes with controls for audio, hands-free phone, and the drive assist display. The driver and front passenger benefit from the fatigue-sapping Nissan zero-gravity front seats that manually slide, recline, and adjust for height. The rear seat splits and folds 60/40. Nissan equipped the Kicks e-Power with much of the comfort and convenient features expected in top SUVs. Intelligent keyless entry, push-button engine start-stop system, power windows, power door locks, cruise control, and automatic air conditioning. The VL and the VE also comes with the Nissan Advanced 8-inch touchscreen display audio with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Bluetooth for hands-free calling and audio streaming, Type A and Type C USB as well as auxiliary port. The VL gets 6 speakers, the VE and EL have 4. The Kicks e-Power's instrumentation looks particularly modern and high-tech, especially with the VL, which features a 7-inch TFT display meter and drive computer display for info such as power meter, fuel, drive range, and battery charge. Also cool and quite modern looking is the electronic gear selector with illumination. Both drive computer display and electronic gear selector are part of what make the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power system unique. The electric motor powers the wheels using electricity from a lightweight lithium-ion battery that is charged by a gasoline engine. In essence, the all-new Nissan Kicks is a self-charging EV, electric-driven, gas-charged. The system generates powerful and instantaneous 200 Nm of torque. Power and torque is sent to the front wheels via an automatic single-speed gear reduction transmission system. The Kicks e-Power powertrain also comes with e-pedal step system that allows the driver, using only one pedal to launch, accelerate and decelerate the vehicle, as well as provide regenerative braking to charge the battery when eco or sport mode is active. One can truly experience the performance and handling of a full electric subcompact SUV without having to suffer the inconveniences and difficulties of owning EVs in a country without the necessary infrastructure to support them. Citing UNR 101 testing, Nissan said the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power has a combined city and highway driving fuel efficiency of 22 km per liter. This means the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power can run approximately 900 km on a full tank with a 41-liter capacity. However, actual consumption may vary depending on different driving conditions as well as individual driving style and habits. The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power rides and handles much like other sure-footed and comfortable subcompact SUVs, as near car-like as can be with the ride height that made such SUVs and crossovers popular. The suspension features front struts and rear torsion beams with stabilizer. Stopping power comes from an all-disc brake system, ventilated in front. The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power VL comes with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, a suite of advanced driver assist technologies that make every driver safe and more convenient. These features include intelligent forward collision warning, intelligent emergency braking, driver attention alert, hill start assist, and the e-pedal step. The base e-Power EL model is priced very competitively at 1,239,000 pesos. It comes with a 7-inch TFT meter with advanced driver assist display, zero gravity front seats, hill start assist, and intelligent keyless system. The upgraded e-Power VE variant at 1,339,000 pesos is another compelling option that's equipped with intelligent forward collision warning with intelligent emergency braking, 8-inch advanced touchscreen display audio with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, rear parking sensor, and electronic brake with auto hold function. At 1,539,000 pesos, the top-of-the-line e-Power VL model is jam-packed with technology and features that make the price worth it. It comes with a complete suite of Nissan Intelligent Mobility safety features, including the intelligent around-view monitor with moving object detection that helps in maneuvering in tight spaces, especially during parking, and it also has an exclusive two-tone body color. The VL and VE come with SRS airbags for driver and front passenger, as well as side airbags and curtain shield. All three also feature anti-lock brake system with electronic brake force distribution and brake assist, vehicle dynamic control, LED high-mount stop lamp, and alarm and engine immobilizer. The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power provides much of the comforts and conveniences now expected in top-end subcompact SUVs, as well as advances in driver assist and safety technologies. The Kicks e-Power also provides owners the opportunity to fully enjoy the experience of driving a full electric SUV, even as the country awaits the infrastructure to support their use.
The all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power makes a good case for being the perfect vehicle for the transition to a future where EVs are king. It's also perfect for these times of expensive fuel. Experience electric with the all-new Nissan Kicks e-Power. Visit nissan.ph/kicks or your nearest Nissan dealership to book a test drive now. That's our featured vehicle in this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry now takes center stage. Great Wall Motor is back with a new local partner, Luxuriant Automotive Group Inc.
Great Walls Return was announced by GWM and the Luxuriant Group in a brief program at the Bellevue, Manila in Alabang, in which executives from both partners outlined their plans for reintroducing and growing the brand locally. During the program, GWM gave a short preview of the initial lineup of vehicles that will formally launch soon. 3 SUV crossovers, the Haval Jolion, the Haval Jolion HEV, and the Haval H6, and a pickup, the GWM Cannon. On the same day of the brand's relaunch, GWM ferried motoring journalists to the Batangas Racing Circuit for a short test drive of the Jolion, the H6, and the Cannon.
This morning, we had our brand launch where GWM Philippines officially launched, and here's where we gave you a preview of what our lineup is going to be, at least in the initial stages of the business.
At the Batangas Racing Circuit grounds, B-Boy Vargas, professional 4x4 off-road driving instructor, laid out a course to showcase the capabilities of the GWM Cannon, China's best-selling pickup truck.
The track was designed specifically to highlight the key feature of the GWM Cannon 4-wheel drive pickup, particularly the Borg-Warner transfer case automatic 4-wheel drive system. So basically what it does is it engages the front axle without any human intervention. In short, if it encounters a particularly difficult terrain, it will gradually or immediately engage the 4-wheel drive system, which is basically the key highlight of the vehicle, which is the ease of use and comfort of use. Now, if the terrain gets a little more difficult, you just need to push 1 or 2 buttons to be able to negotiate the more difficult sections. In short, as a whole, the car was designed, the 4-wheel drive pickup was designed for comfort and for ease of use. Hence the use of an automatic 4-wheel drive system.
On the track itself, champion racer Pepon Marave staged several activities to highlight the ride and handling, performance capabilities, as well as the advanced driver assist technologies that came with the Jolion and the H6. Aside from the usual 0 to 100 km/h test, the GWM's SUV crossovers were subjected to maneuvers on the track to showcase such technologies as the adaptive cruise control and even the self-parking feature of the Jolion H6.
The car is very sophisticated. Yes, it has so many technologies built inside, so busog na busog siya. So we designed the track to highlight these particular technologies. I think one of the main technologies here is the adaptive cruise control, wherein you can really follow a car without stepping on the pedals. The car practically drives itself. One of the main features of the H6, the top model, is that they can park by themselves. So when you're inside the mall, the car will drive itself. It will look for an open space, and then you just push a button and then it will park itself automatically.
GWM plans to formally launch its lineup of vehicles at the Manila International Auto Show in April. At the same time, GWM will be opening its first showroom and dealership at United Nations Avenue.
Find us on Facebook, GWM Philippines. But more importantly, check us out in the flesh at our dealership, UN Manila, GWM UN. And in the next few weeks and months in all the major malls in the Philippines.
Another Chinese automaker is looking to make its presence felt in the country. Jetour has signed a distribution agreement with a local group which formed Jetour Auto Philippines. Jetour launched the brand at the PADA Manila, inviting the press as well as the banking and dealer partners and friends to preview and test drive its lineup of vehicles to be sold locally.
We were able to invite our friends from the dealer network, automotive dealer network, for them to see as well what Jetour is to offer. Of course, we invited some friends from the banking sectors and of course our friends from media. As I've said, we want them to experience the actual driving of this car, to feel and to get behind the wheels what this vehicle can offer. Innovation, technology, the safety in both passive and active of the safety features of the vehicle.
Jetour is bringing in SUV and crossovers including 3 variants of the X70, the Dashing, and the Ice Cream EV. Jetour is confident this lineup of vehicles will be a hit with Filipinos.
Well, Jetour is an up-and-coming Chinese brand So we're very excited to launch this new brand because it offers value for money products which we feel will be very competitive in the Filipino market. As you can see, we announced 4 models and they're very competitively priced. So we're optimistic for growth and brand momentum to pick up soon.
Established in 2018, Jetour already boasts of having sold more than 550,000 vehicles with cutting-edge SUVs like the X70 and X90. Based in Wuhu High-Tech Industrial Development Parks on the banks of the Yangtze River in China, Jetour exports its vehicles to more than 30 countries. Jetour plans to publicly launch its local lineup at the Manila International Auto Show scheduled for April 13 to 16 at the World Trade Center. The all-new BMW X1 has arrived looking even more alluring with a sharper design and cutting-edge digital and automotive technology. Ever since the first generation was rolled out back in 2009, the X1 has drawn many to the world of BMW sport activity vehicles.
The X1 is basically your entry into the world of BMW X, the SAV range of BMW. So it's actually a very important model for us because it brings people into the brand. Also, volume-wise, it's also proven to be a relatively important model for both global market and also for the Philippine market.
Only one variant, the BMW X1 S-Drive 18D X-Line, is being made available locally, but that should be enough to tempt the kind of buyer sought by the premium German brand.
We're targeting the more dynamic, the younger ones, the very well-connected individuals who want to get into the world of BMW SAVs, and the young, energetic, and very well-connected people. These are the ones we're looking at right now.
The BMW X1 is powered by a BMW twin-power turbo inline 4-cylinder diesel engine that produces 150 horsepower and 350 Nm of torque, made into a 7-speed Tiptronic transmission with double clutch. Isuzu Philippines Corp, through its partner dealer Isuzu Calapan, has turned over the second batch of modern Isuzu PUVs to the Victoria Operators, Drivers, and Commuters Transport Cooperative in Oriental Mindoro. Isuzu continues to support the government's Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program to help make the public transport more reliable and safe.
We'd like to thank Podacto for continuing to trust Isuzu as their partner in providing modernized transport system to commuters. We assure you that our durable, reliable, and efficient PUVs will provide you and your passengers alike more comfortable, safe, and enjoyable ride. And with our extensive after-sales program, we guarantee you that you will get your money's worth and more.
Back in September 2022, Isuzu Calapan also turned over the first batch of 15 modern PUVs to Vodacto for the use of ferry passengers in several routes in Oriental Mindoro.
We're now turning over the 13 units of Vodacto to Vodacto, and then in addition to their 15 units that they get from us last September, so they now have a total 28 units in their fleet. So, nagpapasalamat po kami sa Vodacto sa kanilang pagsuporta bilang kaagapay sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na hanap buhay. Dahil kami po ay naniniwala na ang Isuzu po ay pinakamaganda at pinakamatibay para po sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na pagbabiyahe.
Vodacto is one of the success stories of the government's PUV modernization program.
Ang cooperative po namin ay may 100 members and meron po kaming 5 rota. At ang ila-launch po natin ngayon ay isa lang sa isang rota namin. Ito pong Isuzu ay na 13 is a second batch ng aming pag-release in support with the Public Utility Modernization Program ng government. Ang PUV ay napakaganda dahil ang nagbibinipisyo po nito ay yung mga local nating mga drivers. Nagkaroon sila ng marangal na trabaho, maayos yung kanilang kondisyon, hindi sila naiinitan, at yung kanilang pong mga sweldo ay talagang standard, nakabase sa dollar rate ng Mindoro. At pangalawa, ay ito pong ating mga pasahero. Convenient, reliable, safety. So lahat po ng kinakailangan ng mga pasahero ay nandiyan na. walang tumatagal na 10 minuto. Nandiyan na po yung unit natin para i-cater po natin ang mga pasahero ng Victoria, Calapan, and Nauhan.
And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 36th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Happy motoring!